Okay. Very good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to study a very important topic related to microbiology. This is a cause postulate and the germ theory of disease. So, cause postulate germ theory disease is a very popular topic for any microbiological study because this is the basic of all microbiological study. If we don't know the cause postulate or the germ theory of disease, we will not get any interest in the area of microbiology. We know the microbiology is a vast area where we can study the nature, different modes and reproduction of various microorganisms, starting from lower protozoa to higher bacteria, fungi, and all these type of various infectious diseases and all these. So, have you ever thought how the people could come to know about the germ, about the diseases? How the people could come to know about the diseases which are really occurred by some pathogen, either it is a plant pathogen or it is an animal pathogen. But this work started a decade before decade when some important microbiologists, some microbiologists, researchers, they started working on the fact about the various theories related to this development of the germ theory. Okay, so let us start about the various contents of the germ theory of disease. First of all, contents. So in the first content, we'll come to know about the Robert Koch. Robert Koch was a very important microbiologist. It's about his cause postulate and how he explained diagrammatically the cause postulate, his exceptions, importance of cause postulate, germ theory of disease, history and experiments, diagrammatic presentation of germ theory of disease, fermentation and references. Okay, so in the next slide we know that Robert Koch, he is a popular German scientist and regarded as one of the main founders of modern bacteriology, because Koch developed many innovative techniques in microbiology while working as a private physician. He was actually by profession as a physician. He didn't know about the various types of microbes are really related with the production of various diseases. Okay, but he was constantly working in the field of bacteriology, where he put his interest on the theories related to the various diseases, and that made the various great discoveries from where today we can come to the conclusion of any type of diseases can caused only by the pathogen. So he was then appointed government advisor, Imperial Health Office in 1800. Okay, the methods Koch. So he postulated some important. So microorganisms must be found in the abundance in all organisms suffering from the disease, but should not be found in healthy organisms. Okay, the microorganism must be isolated from a disease organism and grown in pure culture. Okay, the culture microorganism should cause disease when introduced into a healthy organism, and lastly, the microorganism must be re-isolated from the inoculated disease experiment host and identified as being identical to the original specific causative agents. Okay, so before we come to know about the cause postulate, we should know about the various things. This is the cause postulate. So according to him, he found that from any disease portion, and suppose this is a disease, right, from where we can isolate the pathogen. The microorganism must be found in abundance in organisms suffering from the disease, but should not be found in healthy organisms. So he isolated the disease portion from this from the disease rat. Okay, then he cultured. After his culture, he found the cultural characteristic. He studied about the cultural characteristic, about the isolate, about the cultural color, about the about the media, what is required. So he isolated as a pure culture. Okay, then he re-inoculated these pathogen to a healthy one. Okay, in the healthy one, after the he inoculate the healthy one, then healthy one also produce the symptoms, and when he tried to isolate the pathogen from the re-isolated sample, okay, re-inoculated sample, then he found that the same symptoms of the cultural characteristic could be found. So that means he proved that any microorganism must be responsible for causing a disease, and it can be we can isolate, we can culture it in a pure form, and if this pure form, if we can again inoculate in any type of healthy organism, it will again cause the same diseases with the same symptoms. Oh, that gives the important idea about the pathogen. Otherwise, before the discovery of his postulate, people were unaware of the facts that all the diseases can caused by the pathogen. Understood? So pathogen, we know nowadays, we know pathogen is doing this. In nowadays we also come to know about the coronavirus. We know about the viruses, but before his postulate, no one could have idea about the about the virus and all this. What are the symptoms? Because each and every pathogen has a particular symptoms, and on the basis of the symptoms, we can finalize the what type of treatment the doctor or the physician undergo different types of medication to the particular patient. So that is the very important basic criteria through which we have come to know the cause postulate. Clear? So exception to cause postulate, second part does not apply to pathogens incapable of growing in pure culture, because viruses, it is being found that virus cannot be grown in the pure culture. Okay, because viruses always be in the inactive form, because it is a facultative. It's obligate parasite. It depends on the host for the reproduction. Okay, so that is the symptoms and disease can be caused by any of the several microbes also. This is the exception. Every postulates have the exception, but we cannot deny his work, on the basis of which nowadays we can come to know about the importance of pathogen, about the various types of pathogen can cause various diseases. Okay, so why cause postulate is so important? Because it critically important in establishing the criteria wherever the scientific community agrees that a microorganism causes disease. Yes, before his postulates being discovered, people were unaware about the facts of the pathogen can causing disease. Well, people, so his postulate made all the nations, all the world to know that the pathogen or the germ is very important causal agent for causing any type of disease. So its simple word, it is being also, I have written over here that cause postulate provides a framework for providing the role of microbes in disease. Before that, we didn't have any idea about the role of microbes, how the microbes are very much related with the disease cycle. But nowadays, on the basis of postulate, at least we could come to know about the various role of microbes in particular disease causing organism in plants. Then this is the germ theory of disease, which is being later established on the basis of his theory. That is, germ theory of disease states that microorganism known as the germs or pathogen can lead to disease. It is currently accepted scientific theory for many diseases. This theory was first proposed by Louis Pasteur, famously known as cholera, anthrax, or rabies vaccine, who developed the rabies vaccine, and he showed that the petrification and fermentation occur due to the presence of microorganism. Petrification matlab when particular food spoils, when the particular food get fermented. So how these things could happen? These things only happen by the attack of bacteria, anaerobic bacteria. Fermentation is always happen in absence of oxygen. Okay, in the presence of anaerobic bacteria. So on the basis of this, he developed all his concept on the basis of some two theories which was very popular before the discovery of germ theory, that is the miasma theory and spontaneous generation theory. It is very simple to discuss about the spontaneous generation theory. You may have little idea about the spontaneous generation theory, but I am giving a very clear concept on that before the discovery of his postulate, people used to thought that any disease which are occurring to us is caused by the curse of some god, or by some people, or by some evil spirits, or like that, and it will occur generation to generation. So people used to offer many prayers to God, many to plants in the forest, or like that, because people were uneducated. They didn't have any clear idea. As the generation by generation, the same concept was developing. Okay, so this is the spontaneous generation theory. In miasma theory, the pollution, people come to know that pollution is important for causing a disease, but they could not relate the pollution carries the germs. Okay, this theory states that the disease was caused by decomposition of organic matter, which releases poisonous air causing diseases. Understood? So before that people had some idea that okay, due to the pollutions of air, pollution is increasing, pollution must have some unpleasant thing, order. From that order we are developing the disease. So spontaneous generation theory and germ theory, on the basis of the spontaneous generation theory, germ theory has been developed. Okay, how this thing developed? By a simple, you see, in the simple experiment. Okay, so how Robert Koch developed this germ theory? He boiled some media, okay, and he take a sound shaped funnel, that is the flux, okay, where it is covered. See, it is fully covered. Okay, there is no attachment of air or exposure of air. Okay, so media after boiling, and that time people had some idea about that. Okay, boiling the food also prevents diseases. So that concept was there. Okay, so this photo is taken from the Google source. Okay, so this boiling, after boiling, the media is kept for some 48 hours, and it found that there is no growth of any microorganism or any unpleasant odor. Okay, but in second experiment, what he did the same procedures. He boiled the media, and after some time he broke the neck. You see, broke the neck. So when he broke the neck, definitely the media, the sterilized media, being exposed to the air, that is the poisonous air. So when the poisonous get exposed to this area, definitely what happens? The some microbes may get enter into this flux. So after 40 to 48 hours, he found that the all microbial growth has been occurred, and all the media become contaminated. So it is very clear from the above experiment, that is, germ is related with the atmosphere. In atmosphere, if the atmosphere is polluted, we can get more exposure of microorganism, and the microorganism is the only causal organism for contamination of any type of food, any type of media, any type of growth conditions. Okay, so that is the fermentation. Sorry for the, I'm just after this experiment, so he also did some experiment on the fermentation, from where he also proved that is the fermentation also needs the microbes, from where the fermentation occurs, and fermentation also responsible for the various microorganisms. Only the microorganisms are responsible for causing fermentation, and that is why the germ theory of disease led to the recognition of immunity protection against some types of pathogen. So when we come to know about the germ theory of disease, now people could isolate the various pathogen. People could verify, people could identify, people can catalog the different types of diseases on the basis of the symptoms, basis of the pathogen. We know each and every disease is caused by the various types of pathogen, and each pathogen is a systematic position, has a systematic position, has a systematic life cycle, systematic etiology, that is the disease cycle. So everything is different for every pathogen. So on the basis of his basic idea, we nowadays we can come to know that various pathogens are only dependent on the various types of host to develop the symptoms. Okay, so each and every types of pathogens, if it is a protozoa, bacteria, virus, fungi, whatever may be the microorganism, the infection and the symptoms must be different. It may differ from place to place, it may differ from geographical location, it may differ from person to person on the basis of the nature of the host. So that is the very interesting. So these are some references you can collect from me later on. This is the correction. You can go through these references, and definitely these references is already I have told the references is very important to know the particular status of your work. So if you collected recent references, we can definitely come to know the different works which are being carried out in particular topic. Suppose germ theory of disease, what are the advanced theories being developed in the germ theory? What are the advanced diseases is being reported by the World Health Organization and like this? So in a nutshell, we can say the germ theory disease is the basic of all theories of microorganism, because without this we cannot prove that germ is the major causal organism. Okay, germ is the major causal organism for causing any type of diseases. Okay, so I hope this video will definitely help you a lot in your future studies, and always remember that germ theory is the basis of the microbiological theory, on the basis of which it is being proved that all the diseases are occurred due to the attack of germ, that is a microorganism. It is not attacked by any type of any type of curse, any type of god curse, or any type of other things, any evil things or whatever we used to see. We used to think from ancient mites. These are all are not at all acceptable. Only the proof has been given by the Robert Koch, and that is why he is known as the father of bacteriology and the father of the germ theory. Okay, thank you, thanks a lot.